back to the channel. This episode, we're gonna work on my 1955 Chevrolet. We're gonna rip out the old motor transmission that's currently in there that's no good and get it ready for a new heartbeat. For those of you who aren't familiar with this car, me and my buddy Wesley picked this up earlier in the year from North Georgia. We both fell in love with it. In fact, he got it first and kept it for a while, and then they bought a 57 Ford and didn't have no space for this. So he offered it to me, and I jumped on it because I absolutely love this car. I love the color combination. I love that it's completely original. Nobody has ever done any kind of modifications to it. There's no wires that's been cut and spliced, nothing, and it's a complete car. So I do know that the straight six that's in it is no good, and I'm not going to spend any time trying to figure out what's wrong with it because I don't really care. But I am going to pull the engine and transmission out, set it to the side, and keep it because it's all numbers matching with the car. I have a 383 that I got from Summit Racing. I got it from their scratch and dent sale. This thing had fell over in the crate and dented the valve cover. I got a really good deal on it, and it's a Blueprint Engines long block. It makes right at 500 horsepower. So it's going to be pretty rowdy in this four-door. And I also got a Gearstar Performance Transmissions 4L60E to go behind it. So we're going to get on the interstate, drive this thing wherever we want. I don't know if I'm going to do EFI or carburetor yet. We'll figure that out here soon. And as far as rear axle, I have one that I pulled out of my 57 Chevrolet up there. We did an episode of Faster with Newbern and Cotton in Biloxi, and we swapped that car from leaf spring to 4-link in a parking lot. And I have the leaf spring rear axle out from under that car that will bolt right in this car. So it's going to be basically a bulletproof driver that'll make 500 horsepower, and I can't wait. So let's start ripping this thing apart. Underneath the hood is the inline six, and this car is very solid. There's minimal rust in this car, which is incredible. And my plan here is to clean all of this up, powder coat the fender wells, powder coat everything I possibly can, paint the firewall. But I'm going to leave the outside just like you see it. I want to be able to drive this car and not worry about it. If somebody leans on it, door dings it, you can work on it, throw your tools up here, doesn't matter. But under the hood, it's going to look brand new. It's going to be nice. I need to get a windshield for it. No big deal. Probably been shot with a BB gun. The rest of the glass is perfect. It just needs a windshield. But I think what I'm going to do is pull the whole front clip off in one piece, set it to the side. That way I can get the suspension, plus it'll make pulling this engine and transmission that much easier. Get all that stuff painted up before I put the new engine and transmission back in. Cash, you ready to work? What bolts do I need to take loose? How many's under there? First things first, wheels and tires are off, and kind of looking at the car, it's got a lot of road grime on it. I don't know how many miles are on it, but I'm gonna go ahead and soak everything. We're gonna try this knocker loose here by CRC. Let everything soak and try and pull this whole thing off as one unit. Front clip is off. It's good because I'm not seeing any rust holes through the car anywhere yet. Usually the toe board here is rusted out, or the body mounts or something, the rockers, but we got nothing. Everything looks to be pretty solid, which is fantastic, which means we can pressure wash all of this, get everything cleaned up, put the new suspension on it, drop the engine and transmission in it, and then just put the front clip right back on it. I'm not used to that. My cars are usually rusted completely out. Gosh, what are you doing? So yeah, next up, engine and transmission come out. Then we can put the wheels and tires back on it. And then when it actually gets above freezing outside, we can go wash it, pressure wash it, bring it back in, paint it up. Everything's loose but these two motor mounts on the front. But look how much oil built up and grime. Don't eat it, Cash. No.
No, leave it.
Look at that.
Look. There are all these bolts.
I cannot wait to pressure wash it.
You get that off?
It's so thick.
What?
Oh my God.
You can... Look, I'm gonna get this out.
That's so satisfying.
It looks like sawdust.
Did you just smell it?
It smells sweet. It really does. You don't smell that?
Weirdo.
No.
I want to do it. Let me do it.
Smell it.
I'm not smelling it. I want to chip away at it, not sniff it.
Leave it. That's why he's trying to eat it. Look, get that off. I don't think that's gonna come off. That's hard as... No.
Get that.
You can't. I need a hammer. Oh, I got it. Look. Maybe it protected the frame.
Yeah. That's crazy. Get that. Let me try and hit it with this.
Wow.
It's crazy. All right. Let's get these two bolts out here, and then we can get it out. Engine and transmission are out. That's the good thing about working on old cars is it's very simple. And didn't take very long, and I still don't see any rust like going through the car, which is great. So now we can clean the firewall, pressure wash it real good, and depending on what it looks like, the green color may come back out once it's all clean. And I was gonna like flat black it, but I don't think I'm going to, because I think this green, once all this is gone, will come back through, which would be cool. We can go ahead and upgrade the brakes, put a dual pop master cylinder on there, redo the brake lines, and probably redo the steering. I have 2 steering kits that I've collected. I have a power rack and pinion kit for one of these cars, and I also have a power steering gearbox for one of these cars. So depending on the headers, if they clear, I'm not sure yet. I may just go ahead and upgrade it and put the power rack and pinion in it, because I do want to drive this car all the time, so that would be nice. But I may go ahead and order some tubular control arms. I'm not doing coilovers because, quite frankly, I don't like how they ride. I did that on my 57 and my Impala, and it really took the cushion, the floating ride out of these big cars. So I'm going to leave the coil springs in it and maybe put a 2-inch drop spindle on the front just to get it down a little bit. So yeah, we're going to pressure wash this, clean it all up, throw some paint on the frame, and then start putting all our new goodies in it. But not right now. It's a lot of work and it's freezing cold outside. But what I can do is show you the new engine. I can't show you the new transmission because it's still crated up. We'll go look at the new engine, and that'll pretty much wrap this up for tonight. Here is the engine and transmission for our 55 Chevrolet. This is a Blueprints 383 cubic inch small block Chevrolet. It's advertised at 436 horsepower, but our dyno sheet says otherwise. This thing made 452 horsepower at 5,600 RPM, and it made 465 pound-feet of torque at 4,600 RPM. So it should have no problem spinning the tires over. The only thing I need to do is get a flex plate, balancer, and an intake manifold, and the intake will dictate if I'm gonna run EFI or carburetor. Because with EFI, I'll probably run a single plane if it's a throttle body setup, but if it's carburetor, I'll probably put a dual plane on it. So I'm not quite sure. I don't even put a tunnel ram on it. Nah, I'm gonna drive this thing every day. I'm not putting a tunnel ram on it. But here's our transmission. This is from Gearstar Performance. This is their level 2 4L60E overdrive transmission. It comes with everything needed. The fluid is already in it. Transmission mount comes with a cooler. So this will be great because we can get on the highway and run highway speeds and not get ran over and keep the RPMs down. So this is going to be a great combo that we can just hop in, drive anywhere, get decent gas mileage, and sound good. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget, head over to newbernsgarage.com. We have several different shirt designs. We have hoodies, and we appreciate everyone's support very, very much. And also, I got some pretty good surprises coming up very, very soon. I might have acquired several cars from Motor Trend, and we're going to have some fun with them. They're going to make some great content, and I cannot wait to get them from California back here to Georgia. So stay tuned for that. We'll catch you guys later.